a lot of parents will say to me, well, how do I know? Like, when is this? How do I know when things are not going properly? And there's a number of things, but the way I look at it is these primitive reflexes, again, and we've talked about this before, but they're there because the brain, especially in humans, is very immature. Humans have the largest brain per body size of any primate, but we also have the smallest birth canal because of being bipedal. So with that, we have to keep the brain very restricted before it grows, more than any other animal. And also different of other brains and other animals, we have to then be able to know when to grow, meaning when we're outside the womb. And now we have genes that are more sensitive to environmental input so that we know, okay, we're being bombarded by light and sound and temperature and movement and gravity. That means grow the brain, because now we have to go from 20% to 90% in 3 years to get the brain to grow properly. So there's this massive growth that has to happen. It's stimulated once we're outside the womb. The brain is growing before it, but it's got to be restricted somewhat. And then it is initiated by movement. But humans are also the only animals that can't just get up and walk and run, right? So we won't walk for a year. And so how do we move when the part of our brain that really controls movement isn't really developed yet? So we have these movements in the brainstem. And the first sign of that for me is a baby is supposed to get themselves in a position to be born, right? Mm-hmm. They're supposed to turn upside down and turn backwards and to the right. How do they know how to do that, right? How does a baby know that they're supposed to get into that position? It's because there's already these automated pre-programmed reflexes that are already being active in the womb. Now, if a baby is breech, if a baby doesn't get into the right position, or again, they should do it without the cord getting wrapped around their neck. If the cord gets around their neck, it means they're not moving in the right way. So all of those things kind of are an early signal to me, okay, these programmed reflexes aren't really working the way they should.